Let's give him that. Let's find him. Where is he? There he is. Quick. This being is made to worship, and the only God that he would worship is you. Mike Winger. I don't think God can make a square circle, personally. But raise your hand if you think he can. And it was like a third of the class raised their hand. And raise your hand if you think he can't. And then it was like the other third. Raise your hand if you don't know. And then it was like half the class. And the other third and half. Oh yeah, we don't know. And maybe he could. And then he just thinks of one of the trillions of ways that God could create a square circle. Maybe he could create a reality where it's possible and then make it in there. Maybe. And then he goes, oh, but I don't think he could do it at all. And I was like, holy shit. And I was like watching him and I was like, what the fuck? Ravi Zacharias said the same shit. God cannot make a square circle. And he said it like this, which is way... At least Mike Winger was like casting doubt on himself. It's kind of his brand, false humility and all that shit. Fuck. I gotta get to that bitch. I still have... I don't like throwing girls in hell. Fuck. They're so precious. They're the weaker vessel. Fuck. Anyways, Mike Winger. Ravi Zacharias. I was telling Joel on the phone, I wish I could say I was halfway joking, but it was like maybe not even a quarter joking. I'm being serious. I'm like, dude, Ravi Zacharias, he has a bad look in front of man because of the last 3 weeks of his life was sexy time, sexy time, sexy time, sexy time, wicked, 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 sexy time. And everyone's like, oh, and Mike Winger's like, yeah, I think he's in hell for the sexy time. I just can't reconcile all this shit. And I was telling Joel, I was like, he's in hell, but it's not because of the sexy time. God understands that, boobs and whatever. It's like, he doesn't, but he does. He doesn't give a fuck. You guys are fucking around outside of marriage. Who gives a fuck? 1 Corinthians 6, verse 9. Yeah, if we take the Bible seriously, you're going to hell. No shit. But I don't give a fuck. You stick your wiener in a JJ and you'll get an STD and then you'll feel bad about it. Who gives a shit? That's like, what kind of fornication is it? There's different levels of evil. But I don't give a fuck. You guys are fucking around. Who gives a fuck? You guys are sexual beings. What the fuck? Top left-hand corner. Ecclesiastes 7, verse 20. Fuck around. I don't give a fuck. But then this motherfucker goes, God cannot make a square circle. That would be a contradiction. And it was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. But the way he said it, this is his royal flush position. With Mike Winger, he was like, I got a full house. Which is still fucking retarded. Holy shit. Did you ask around? But Ravi Zacharias, sick boy. I forget. It's the first thing I want to say to you, Ravi. I forgive you of all your sexual morality. That's the first thing I want to say. The second thing is, you're going to hell. There's demons. They will beat you up. Luke 12:47-48. And I've already given them their weapon of choice, my weapon of choice. Can you guess what it is, what that weapon is? It rhymes with purple. It rhymes with scare purple. The weapon is a square circle. And it's not a contradiction. And he picks him up and throws him into hell. That's what I told Joel over the phone. And Joel starts laughing. Oh, you're funny. Even Joel. I told him, I was like, just so you know, God can make a square circle. He goes, well, in some ways he can, and in other ways he can't. And I was like, okay, well, it's better than what Mike Winger was saying. It's better than what Ravi Zacharias was saying. But it's also, you want to run that one back? Severus, snap, snap, Severus, snap. I was busting up laughing one day. God's only shared with me, 8, maybe 9. And if it's more than that, I'm not gonna, he may or may not have given me, more than 9 or 10. But let's just say, let's just be conservative here. He showed me 8 square circles. And I was busting up laughing. It's fucking hilarious. If I can make a square circle with 1% of the power that I kind of think the God of the Bible might have, why the fuck is your God not able to make a square circle at all? Sounds like you're projecting your imperfections on God. The essence of idolatry is the entertainment of thoughts about God that are unworthy of Him. And I'm not going to say who gave that quote, because that guy's a fucking, sinner or some shit. I don't want you to look at all his doctrine. It's just one of those stop clock motherfuckers. But hey, I like it. C.S. Lewis, he said some great things. I love it. Paul Washer says some great things. I love it. Paul said some great things. But Jesus of Nazareth says perfect things. And even the stuff I struggled with when I was younger, which wasn't a lot. Luke 18, 9-14, it comes to mind. What the fuck is wrong with that? The guy was sucking himself off in prayer. I was like, I've been doing this for the last 4 years. Thank you for making me better than my brother. And Jesus is like, I don't like that prayer. Well, why? I grew out of it. God was right. It's just, it's you know what it is? Pride and joy, it's cringe. It's cringe. Pride and arrogance is wicked. So you're either cringe or you're wicked. And that's what I learned as I got older. Ken Jennings. Could he suck himself off? Absolutely. Would it be true? Yeah. He's 74-2 in Jeopardy, and he won the GOAT championship against a guy who may or may not have sold the soul of the devil for knowledge. And the other guy was Brad Rutter, who beat him twice, and he was 14-0 in all the other games, and he didn't score a single point in one of the games. Ken Jennings beat them both. Do you think he could suck himself off when it comes to Jeopardy? And of course he can. You know what he does instead? Well, I'm really not that smart. He doesn't say that, but that's what it feels like. Proverbs 27 verse 2, let another suck you off. Do not suck off yourself. Well, why is that? You'll learn when you're older. God can masturbate, but he can't suck his own dick. Isaiah 42 verse 8. Goof text. Proverbs 27 verse 2, goof text. Well, this is just perverted now. Fuck you. You know nothing. What have I said that's wrong? Don't make a compilation video on the pervertedness. Make a compilation video on my mistakes. That's the video I want to watch. I told you swearing was turned on. That's when you should have backed out. It's like, if I'm on YouTube and a naked girl pops up, and it rarely happens, but sometimes it's possible. It's an advertisement. Okay, well, bye-bye, skip it, or fucking, worst case scenario, turn off the fucking phone. Don't just keep watching it. See, when people fall into pornography, it's 1% other people's fault. I get that. 10% maybe. But you gotta take some personal responsibility. So if you really didn't like it, you wouldn't watch it. There's something about it that you like. And that's why it keeps popping up on your screen. You are a victim, but you're mostly a criminal watching pornography. I would say mostly. And this is in the worldview where porn is wicked. I mean, my goodness, people have all sorts of worldviews. What the fuck is wrong with you? I mean, the people doing porn, creating it, some of them are like, ugh, this is wicked, but not very many. Most of them are just like, wow, I never knew that I could expose my beauty and get paid for it while extracting dopamine and documenting it for the world to see, and myself to see too later. When I was 12 years old, I was on PokerStars.com. You gotta be 18 or older to play. But I just clicked the box. Yeah, 18 or older. Click it. Boom. I'm in. I'm playing poker. Play money. Omaha high-low split. I go all in. I get a big rush. Massive pot. Oh, I lost all the play money. Oh, no. I start begging for chips. You only get 1,000 chips. Or you get 1,000 chips 3 times per hour. I said, okay, send me more chips. I was like, can someone send me some chips? And this guy says, this is a gross story, by the way, so if you want to back out, I understand. There's some self-exposure here. I was only 12. The guy says, I'll send you some chips. Okay? Thanks. He says, bark like a dog. What? Why would I do that? Huh? I don't know. I'm looking up at the screen, the colors, and I'm sitting out. I type in bark, 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 and then I hit enter, bark, bark, and then the guy says sent. And I go into my tray and I have 40,000 play chips. I was like, whoa. It's like a full buy-in, you know? I sat in. This guy was pissed. Seat 6. I would never bark for chips. was like, huh? I didn't understand. And then I became 18 years old. 19, 20. Oh, I see. Wow. Job chapter 12, verse 12. In the ancient there is wisdom.